This is the third video I've made about lessons I've learned during this whole COVID-19 situation. But it's been a big learning experience for me over the last month and a half now, it looks like. It went fast, actually. And the reason I say it went fast was because of how much despair I felt at the beginning of the crisis. I didn't have any money problems. I didn't have any health problems, but I was worried about being lonely because three other times in my life when I've been lonely, I have almost ended my life. And when especially the word that for some reason health officials decided to use, which is social distancing. Those two words really bothered me at the beginning of the situation. And when I heard that they were extending it to, because the schools are going to close, at the beginning of the crisis, I think they said the schools are going to open May 15th, if I remember correctly, here in Washington State. Obviously now they've closed for the rest of the semester. But at the beginning of the crisis, I thought for sure if social distancing lasted until May or June, there was a good chance I wasn't going to survive. And I wrote quite a number of letters to my family members. I have since deleted those letters. I just deleted those letters, actually. I took one last look. I had a good laugh that I felt that way a month and a half ago, and then I deleted them. And I'm not going to say what I wrote in there, but I addressed my family members, and then I addressed my girlfriend, which is kind of funny because I actually enjoyed my alone time so much this past 1 month and a half that I'll continue to be friends with her, but it really made me reevaluate my relationship with her. It's kind of funny how I had a letter addressed to her that I've also deleted. There are two more lessons that I learned from this whole situation. The one thing I noticed on my social media and in general on the news, on TV, and the word on the street when I go to the grocery store or when I go to one of these essential appointments, the attitude of people is you're on your own. You know, one version of it is, you know, somebody who has a very strong immune system, who's young and invincible. You know, you take care of yourself. Even though you're 70 years old, don't bother with my freedom, right? I can go wherever I want. And the other version of it is somebody 70 or 80 years old trying to tell 20 or 30-year-olds not to go out, even if it's going to destroy their mental health, right? Situations like these really show how much you're on your own, right? People you thought were your friends or your family, they're no longer there. A lot of them are no longer there when the shit hits the fans, right? I've been a little bit more careful about telling my friends and family members about how I'm preparing for shit hits the fans, because I realized from this crisis, it taught me that when shit really does hit the fans, what you thought were your friends often are not going to be anymore. So that's the number one lesson I took away from this whole situation. The number two thing I noticed, especially on social media, see, people have a lot of scientific beliefs about what COVID-19 is, right? People have a lot of political beliefs. We're very politically divided here in the United States, right? But when it comes to whether or not people want this quarantine to last, the number one deciding factor for whether or not people want the quarantine to last is if they have the money! It's kind of funny. People could believe something about science, they can believe something about politics, but oftentimes, you know, stay out of, you know, stay home. Oftentimes these guys are people who have a job to do at home, or they have some savings set aside for this problem, right? People who say this is against my civil liberties or whatever, oftentimes it's because they don't have the money anymore. So it gave me an important lesson about how money works in our society. Anyways, I'll let you sit on those two thoughts. I'm so glad I just deleted those letters that I had planned to leave behind to my family members and some of my friends. So it's all gone. I'm not going to say what's in it. I hope to delete it from my mind too, because it was kind of funny to read it, and funny how things have changed over the last month and a half. And actually, if I had it to do again, I would press the rewind button and live that month and a half again. Because, you know, life is short. You might as well enjoy that month and a half of whatever the new situation is. Thanks for watching.